on this computer. So like I said, so today, so we'll be looking at the one of the major aspects of trading, that determines trend. Like they always say in trading, trend is your friend. Your trend is your friend. And if you notice the way I've been, this meeting is not just for forex traders. Even if you trade crypto, what I'm going to be teaching tonight, you can use it. Even if you are trading stock, whatever you trade, it's the same thing. The same thing because zones are zones. It doesn't matter where major zones are major zones, on the chart. Whether you trade commodities, whether you trade metals, whether you trade volatility, whether you trade cryptos, whether you trade forex, whether you trade stocks, it's the same thing. All right. But just that tonight we're going to be using Euro USD, which is a currency. We're going to be using it as a major point of reference. Okay, so we're going to be using Euro USD as a major point of reference. So, like I said, trading trend is always your friend. And what they mean by trend, I'll try to be as basic as possible for people that are new. Sorry, if you're a new person in the house, can you signify in the chat box? Let me know. Just say let me know in the chat box. I want to know people that are new. Probably you have not been trading before. It's your first time. Okay, Bray. Okay. Okay, if you are new, please just let me know in the chat box before we continue. So that I will know how many new people will be okay. All right, it's new. I have another 2 people right now. Okay, okay. Mr. Kolako, all right. So okay. Anyway, you're welcome. Like I always say, we also start somewhere. Everybody started somewhere, as a new person. Just come along with me and as a new person, if you have the right mindset, through trading, you can live a sustainable life. Like I said, I've been living outside Nigeria for the past 5 years now, and I don't do any other thing than this, than what I'm about to teach. I've been a full-time trader. That's what I do for a living. So, but having said that, basically, when they say trend is your friend in trading, what they mean is that, for example, for some time now, pounds USD, Euro USD has been coming down. I mean, practically throughout this month, you know, uh, we're having a downtrend. All right, we're having a downtrend. Market has been on a downtrend. All right, so that's, as you can see, my this thing. So this line that I draw. So your ability to follow that trend price from the top, like the way it's falling, is going to guarantee. Okay, somebody says he's been trading before, but he's new here. Okay, Mr. Kayode, you're welcome. So, it's we guarantee, how successful you are going to be. So now your ability to be able to anticipate the trend that market is going to follow is going to really help you. And there's no any other way to look at it than to look at major zones. And what I mean by major zones, major market zones is what I mean by major market zone is the major support and resistance. All right. So and there's a way you can plot those zones that makes your work easy. If you have been around in the Telegram community, in our Telegram community and in our WhatsApp community, you will notice that when I post videos, market weekly analysis, the one I always post on every Sundays, and then when I post my videos, you will notice that I always have my zones well plotted out. All right. Then also when I post signals on the groups, you also see that I'm always having that well plotted out. You see that it's well plotted. I always have. So what I want to do tonight is just show you how to plot it in a very simple manner. Because like I said earlier at the beginning of the webinar, that over time I've had people send me mails. I've had people sometimes when you're having webinar, when they're asking questions, they're always asking, how do you plot these lines? All right, so that's what I'm going to show you tonight. So let's go. So on Euro USD, so basically what you want to do, you want to go to the monthly time frame. All right, I've explained this before, but I'm going to explain it again. So you actually want to go to the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame, you'll be able to see what market is doing. All right, you'll be able to see what price is doing, because what we want to do is to follow price. So we are trying to use price action to trade, and if you look at my chart, you see that it's very clean. On this chart, you will notice that we don't have there's no indicator. What I used to trade majorly is just price action. So your ability to follow price, demand and supply, basically, is going to guarantee how successful you are going to be. So basically, I'm on the monthly time frame now. So what I mean by the monthly time frame, for the benefit of new people, is that each candle you see on this chart is 1 month. Like, for example, this candle that you are looking at, this one that I have my cursor on, it takes 1 month for us to form this candle. The one pivot also, this one, that means this is April. This is what happened for the whole month of April. For this is what happened for the whole month of March, and so on and so forth. All right. So each candle you see on this chart, it represents 1 month. All right. Right now we are in the month of May, which is rounding up today. So this is May. So that means in the past 31 days, this is the activity of Euro USD in the month of May. We have my cursor right now. So right now, I'm going to be plotting out those zones, those major zones that I say will help you to determine the market trend. All right. So basically, the first thing we want to do is to you see where my cursor is, you put this triangle, and then you want to look at the major support and resistance. All right. I'm going to remove this so that I can have this up like this, so that to be clear. For example, um, our last support zone is around this area. So we are going to plot it like this. This is the first one. All right, then we'll plot the second one. We'll plot it like this. You will notice that my support zone, is like it covers some distance. Some people, to plot your major zone, you cannot use a line. And some people use line like this. Using a line is not that effective. So what you want to do, you want to use double line. That means in that case, you'll be able to cover enough space, because on the major time frame, like on the monthly time frame, what you know that support is no one normally is no one spot. It covers a major area of price, like what we have right now. Okay, so for us to see if we don't have any support area, we want to look at the left. There's no any support area, so this is a major support zone. All right. So I haven't done that. Then you can clone. Let me remove this one so that it doesn't come in source. So you can actually clone this as well. You can clone this zone. So you just right click. If you're on, for example, and by the way, I'm on TradingView, so you can go to tradingview.com. It's free. A free website that you can use to analyze market. All right. Then you right click and click on clone, so that I can have others that I'll also use to identify other zones. All right. So I haven't said that. So this is the so I'm going to be identifying under zones. What I'll be doing going forward right now is to look for other major zones. All right. Is to actually look for other major zones. So this is the first major support zone. So we'll look for there's another one here. There's actually another one right about here. Okay, there's another one here. We have another one here. So there's another one here. I think, yes. And then there's another one here. So if you notice this zone, I'm going to be explaining how this our so majorly, so what we're trying to do is to as we already have our zone plotted, is to now monitor price, the way price move around these zones. So you notice that if I now go to the lower time frame, let's say I go to the weekly time frame now. So what you will find out is that price bounces around the zone. You'll find out that price bounces around the zones. Okay. So let me remove this. price bounces around all these zones. Price doesn't just move in one direction uptrend. Like for example, now from this support zone, we are in an uptrend. Like price has been majorly in an uptrend. But then you will find out that within this uptrend, we have bearish trend. Like for example, within this major trend, we have minor trends that that go up and down. Like for example, right here now, price hit this resistance and came down before that uptrend continued. Now that uptrend, we are now right now in the month of May, we are coming down again. So we have price hitting resistance again, and now price is coming down again. So, but then in the big picture of things, you can see that price is in an uptrend. Majorly, we've been in an uptrend for some time, right? So, having said that, so what you want to do is to understand how to trade within these zones and how to follow this trend as you move up. How do you follow the trend? So, having said that, if you look at the within this, let's say for example, within this zone, what we have is this: we have price do this, go up, and then come down, and then go up again. Okay, that's one. Now, if you look at this one, I mean, this is a zone that actually shows how price move. I'm still going to go to daily time frame and 4-hour time frame so that you see how effective on understanding major zones, how effective it can be. If you take a look at this is what you're going to get. All right. Okay. So price, bounces around these zones. So let's go to the daily time frame so that we'll be able to see on daily time frame. We'll be able to see more candlesticks, and we'll be able to see how price behave in those zones. Now, on this daily time frame, now you will see you can clearly see how price behave. Okay, right. So let me highlight this a little bit. So you can clearly see how price behave. Now, if you notice that on the weekly time frame, it looks like price just went up straight. Let me go back to the uh weekly time frame. If you can see, it actually looks like price just went up, like it just went up all the way. Although there are major pullback era there, but it looks like price, the move just looked like it just went up all the way, right? Now, if I go back to the daily time frame, you will see how price goes up and down, even though price was going up. And I'm going to highlight that using um even though price was actually going up from here, but then please, if you can see my screen, please let me know, and you can hear me so that I know I'm communicating. Just drop a message on the chat box before I continue. Let me know if you can hear me clearly and you can see my screen. You can just drop me a message in the chat box so that I know I'm communicating. All right, thanks. So moving on, So if you look at this on the daily time frame, you will notice that price didn't just go up the way it did in the higher time frame. And the reason is because on the daily time frame, is a lower time frame than the weekly time frame. So price, we can easily see how price behave. If I move to 4-hour time frame also, you will notice that on the 4-hour time frame, we are going to be having a lot of zigzag. As you can see, there's a lot of, you will see that what we have on the 4-hour time frame is actually a lot of zigzag. You see that we have a lot of zigzag. There's a lot of zigzag. If I come in and I can do like this, you have a lot of zigzag. So we have a lot of zigzag. But then ultimately, price did what? Price went up, right? So, but ultimately, price did what? Price went all the way up. So you can see that price kept bouncing on this trend line. price actually kept bouncing on the trend line. But ultimately, if you look at it, price, kept going up, right? On that is on the 4-hour time frame. You can see clearly. Now, if I go back to daily time frame also, I'm going to let me expand this a little bit so that it's not too vague. I'm going to remove this. Let me remove this. No. Let me expand this. So on this daily time frame, what you're going to notice is that price, you're also going to see the zigzag movement of price. All right, you're going to see the zigzag movement of price like this. There's a zigzag movement of price, but then ultimately, like I said, we have price, bounce off from this trend line, what looks like a trend line. Price kept, I'm sorry, my screen looks kind of, that's why I was unable to capture this side. But the price went all the way and it kept bouncing off, from this trend line. So the idea is for you to understand major zones, major support and resistance, and to trade along that line and to be able to identify the major trend. Now, having identified the major trend on the daily time, on the monthly time frame, if you notice these major zones, I actually plot them. I plotted them on the monthly time frame. Okay, then I now come to the lower time frame to, if I want to start placing trade now, I'll now start, placing trade along the line of this price movement. All right. And so that way, I'll be able to, for example, the way USD is doing right now, let's look at the current price, the current market price. Now, you will notice that price eats this resistance, and then from there it kept coming down. Okay, so because I've already identified this zone, it's easy for me to see if price is going to come down, and then I can start selling. Also, one more major point I forgot to add is that on these zones, you will notice that price move from zone to zone. Price always move from these zones, from one zone to another. Now, on this, in the case of this upper of this, in the case of this uptrend, what we have is that price move from one zone to another zone, like from this support zone to this resistance zone. And after we broke out from this second zone, so let's call this one, for the sake of clarity, let's call this one number one. Let's call this one number two. This one number three. Okay. So I'm trying to. Okay, so I'm trying to bring down this. Okay, so we have number one, number two, number three. Then number four will be at the top. Okay, let me write this. Okay, let's call this number four. So we have our number three, number one, number two, number four. So what you notice that from number one, if you look at number one, price moved, bounced from this resistance, came bounced on this trend line, and went back again to this resistance, came back on this trend line, and then it broke out from this resistance. Okay, and then it touches this resistance and came back again and touches resistance before breaking out. Now you notice that from number two to number three, we have a little bit of zigzag. Okay, and then it keeps going up, and then from number three to number four, it break out from number three, came down to the support, went back to the resistance, came back to the support, and went back to the resistance, and now it's coming back to the support. So my point is, price move from zone to zone. Okay, but each time there's a breakout, we have a little pullback, and then we continue that trend. Now, if I go back to let me erase this. If you go back in time, now if you go back in time and we want to check what is happening when price was coming down, let's go back in time. All right, so you can see that this actually works in every market direction. Also, I think this was last year. This happened last year. Okay, this was February. This we actually started coming down around this area. No, before now. Oh, we've actually been coming down. But let's take our case study from last year, February, around this area. You can see the way price came down. I mean, so from February last year, you can see the way price actually came down. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So you can see the way price came down last year before we bottom here around this was around September, and then we kept going back up. So but from last year, November, February last year, we came down all the way to around November last year. So having said that, if you look at the way price came down all the way from February, you see that, like I said, after this zone was broken, let me annotate this. So this is one. Let's say this is number one, this is number two, this is number three, and this is number four. I hope you guys are following me. So now from this number one, you can see that immediately price broke this support. It tested the support again, moved from zone one to zone two. Don't forget I say price moved from zone to zone. That means from this zone one, price came to zone two. Then from zone two, it came to zone three. Then from zone three, it came to zone four. Okay, before we now bottom again, and then we now went back up. All right. So the idea is your ability to follow price as it's moving within these zones. Okay. So it's going to help you. It's really going to help you as a trader. And like I said at the beginning of this webinar, it doesn't matter what you trade, whether you trade crypto, whether you trade stocks, whether you trade crypto, whether you trade stocks, whether you trade whatever you trade commodity, this market analysis work for every market. And this is a little bit, if I want to put it in a layman's language, major hedge funds manager, this is the way they trade. I'm talking about people that trade in billions of dollars. This is the way they trade. They follow these zones. They have learned to follow these zones. So your ability to do this is going to help you. Now in entry, I will not be able to cover the other part of because of our time, because trading goes beyond just technical analysis. Goes beyond just technical analysis. There's a lot of that has to do with trading also, especially for new people, because I noticed that there are some new people in the house. So we can't teach everything tonight. All right, we'll not be able to teach everything tonight. So, but going forward, what I'm going to say is that if you're new, whether you have been trading before, whether you have traded before, whether you are still new, now the next question that you should be asking is that how do you now enter and exit the market? How do you enter once you have identified your zones like this and you identify the trend? How do you enter and exit? How do you do buy and sell? So that's a question, that should be the question that should be on your mind. And I answer that question in my course. We have a course out there. This is the first part of the course. The full part of the full gist. So we actually have a course out there, the Forex Trader Mastery course. I always talk about it in a group when I post signals. And I notice that a lot of new people. So when I post signals, a lot of them will send us mail. A lot of them will drop a message. You see, we don't understand the signals. And I know you can. The truth is, you can't really grab it or understand it until you sit down with the course and understand, and take it from A to Z. So that way, when we post signals, when we are talking about technical analysis, you'll be able to understand what we are saying. And I always have this thing. I always say this thing. There's this adage that says, the best investment that you can ever invest in yourself, the best investment is the investment in knowledge. And like I said at the beginning of this webinar, if you there's no better time. This is the best time. If you receive my mail earlier today, where I said the best time for you to be earning, especially if you are living in Nigeria or you are living in anywhere, because I can see some people from other parts of the of Africa, in Ghana. I think I saw someone from South Africa. No matter where you live in Africa, there's no better time for you to earn in dollars. This is the best time because of inflation that is happening all over Africa. So this is the best time for you to position yourself, and trading gives you the ability. Okay, trading gives you the ability to earn in dollars. So we have our course out there, and our course is today is 30% off. I think from now to weekend, but we have a promo that is ongoing. I don't know if Gerard is here. So so we have like a giveaway that is ongoing right now, where if you buy the course within 24 hours, apart from the 30% off. Okay, Gerard, are you okay? You are there, okay. Can you talk about the promo that the data that we want to give to the first few people that buy? Let me unmute you. I want you to take over from me from here. I'm going to unmute you now. You can unmute yourself. I've asked you to unmute.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, it's one thing that always baffles me about life. People go to school to become a medical doctor. I think you have to have gone to school for like 20 years or close to 20 years, from your elementary to your primary to your secondary to your university. And you spend millions going through that process. Why? Because you need to be taught, you need to learn, you need to be apprenticed. And it's the same thing when you come to the online space. People want to make money online, people want to trade, and they are unwilling to invest in themselves. It just baffles me sometimes. And while I feel for those in the when we drop signals in the group that say, "Oh, what is this for? How do we do?" Because I was there myself many years ago, I could not make head or tail of the chart, But and then look at this meeting now. We are close to 1,000 people in the group. There are only 24 people here. But then again, I remember what one of the scriptures says, that many are called, but few are chosen.
Yes, so.
An English adage says, make hay while the sun shines. Why? Because when you cut grass to use to make hay, if it's during the winter, it will rot away there. So there's a timing to opportunities. There's a timing to ideas. There's a timing to information. So when you get information, you need to act on it and move immediately. Why? Because contrary to what you think, not everybody is having to be fraudulent online to make money. There are those who are legitimately making money online. The reason why you sometimes feel, it can't be true, is because you are not making that kind of money. So your brain cannot figure out how somebody with his phone will be making $10,000 in a month. But there are people who make more than that. There are young 22 years, 24-year-old guys who are millions in dollars. And I'm not joking. And in Nigeria, not abroad, Lola, remember that guy who wanted to get some work done for us that told us if we're not paying 2 million naira per month, he can't. In fact, he first told us he can't take the job, that he's too busy with others. Do you understand? So the fact that you are broke doesn't mean everybody's broke. The fact that people are making money are not making money doesn't mean they are stealing. It's just that they took some risks. They saw opportunities. Instead of siding with their fears and their doubts, they took action, which is a risk in itself. But it pays off when you invest in yourself. And so we are always looking for ways to make it easier for you. This course was originally priced at 79K, but Lola and we decided to run a discount promo, because people contact you and they'll be like, "Oh, I wish I had enough money." We said, okay, let's give them an opportunity now. Let's give a discount so that it will make life easy for them to take advantage of this opportunity. So we're running a 30% discount from now till Sunday midnight for you. And then for those who take action within the next 48 hours, we have a special bonus for you. We'll be giving you, because of course, you will need data to study this course when you buy it. So we're going to be giving out 5,000 Naira worth of data to the first, Lola, how many that time did we discuss?
I saying 5 people.
I think it's first 5 people that will take advantage of this within the next 48 hours. And we will see your order on the back end. But then again, of course, if you are buying, you should also let us know so that we will make arrangements to send you your data. But you cannot change your current financial circumstances without changing the data that's entering your mind. Because the mind is a computer. They say in
Hello?
getting results is because of the level of information you are currently operating with, which you need to upgrade. So a word they say is enough for the wise.
Okay, thank you so much. So yes. I don't know if you can drop the link and the promo code in the chat box.
Yes, I'll drop.
Please help us to drop it. Thank you. So like Gerald said, going forward, he's going to be dropping the link. So if you are interested, you can just go ahead and purchase. So also, like you rightly said, like I said earlier on, there's no better time for you to get a skill. Trading is a skill. I've been saying this for years. It's a skill. It's a skill that when you get it, you can pardon me, it's a skill, just like you learn how to be a doctor or you learn how to be a mechanic. It's a skill that, let's say you learn how to be a doctor in Nigeria. If you travel to the United States, you are still a doctor, right? And that's why you are seeing that the Western worlds, they are always coming back to the developing economies like Nigeria, like Ghana, South Africa, like Philippines. They go, to shop for medical doctors, because it is same process, it's the same medicine, it's the same skill. It doesn't matter whether you are black or white. So now they come to all these countries to pick people. They bring them here so that they can start working in that industry, right? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with trading. It's a skill. So when you get it, anywhere you are in the world, you can use it to survive. That's the word. You can survive on. You can even more than survive on itself. You can build wealth with trading. And I'm talking from personal experience. I'm not the type that's like bragging. Don't let me use that word. But at the same time, I know how much trading has helped me as a person personally. So like I said at the beginning of this webinar, right now I'm not presently resident in Nigeria. I'm resident in the United States for the past 5 years, and I've been living off trading, since then. All right. So, but before we close this meeting, I would like to take some questions. If you have a question, let me know. I think somebody was asking, there's a question I saw in the chat box. Okay, Amit say from zone to zone, are we to buy or sell? Now, in buying or sell, like I explained, if you listen very, very well when I was doing the course of the webinar at the beginning, from zone to zone, if the market is going up, let's say we are trading up, like we are trading up, you are supposed to be buying from one zone to another. As soon as a zone is broken, price goes to the next zone. So your ability to buy within that zone. All right. But if price is coming down, like throughout last year, price was coming down, you're supposed to be selling. But like I said, you will get the full picture, because we can't capture the full picture under 40 minutes webinar, right? Because trading is big, is wide. All right. So and that was why we have put all these things in a video format, and we have put it in the course. And you have access to that video course for life. You have access to it for life. You are not saying it's a video that you go over and over and over and over and over. And that's why we always encourage people that buy. Don't watch the video once. Watch it as many times as possible. 20 times, 10 times, 15 times, 30 times, for you to understand and grasp it fully. All right. So if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box, or if you can raise your hand, I will meet you. I can unmute you so that you can ask a question so that I can address it before we call it a day. If you have any question, let me know. If there's anybody that have any question, you can drop it in the chat box, whether about Forex, about anything. Okay, there's question in the chat. Okay, you can drop the question in the chat box. Okay, Ezekiel, you have a question. Okay, let me unmute you. Let me look for you. Ezekiel. Ezekiel, so you can unmute yourself. Ezekiel. Okay, I think Ezekiel is not. I've asked you to unmute. Oh. All right, he's not. He's not responding.
Hello, good evening.
Okay, good evening. I can hear you.
I'm responding. I'm responding, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
All right. Actually, I've been following you all this while that I met you. In fact, the way I met you, it was like a miracle, sir. I stumbled on you. It was through Facebook. I'm telling you, it was on Facebook. I was there, and it was just like an ad. I was watching something on Facebook, and you came up where you were like, you're talking about Forex and all of that. And I decided to click the link and sign in with my WhatsApp and they logged me in directly to Telegram and all of that.
Okay.
And from there, I begin to meticulously pay attention to everything you post and everything and anytime you have a webinar like this, I will come in and pay attention. With that, I will still go in my private and compare all the things you are saying and everything. So it's giving me an insight. Honestly speaking, you've been doing so well. And I pray God will strengthen you.
Amen.
And empower you more of and give you more wisdom to demystify every conceptual issues in this field. Amen. I have a question.
Okay.
The question is, research shows that if market was unable to, to close on the high of, like for instance, now maybe they said, I read a particular book and I don't know how true it is. I said, I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
In that, I wrote it down. They said research shows that if market was unable to close on the high of, Thursday, and closes lower of the candle on Monday market. Do you get what I'm saying? Research shows that if market was unable to close on the high of Thursday and close lower of the candle and close lower of that candle the next day. Now, they said on many market occasions, there is tendency that trading on that the next market open day will not be able to close on that previous amount that market closes. And the same thing is either on uptrend or on downtrend. So I don't understand that concept. Possibly if you can demystify it to me. And another question is, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. So make it brief because of others, because I can see other people are dropping questions in the chat box, so I can address it too. All right.
Okay. So they said something. I read a book. They said if normal thinking doesn't, those who are normal, that is those who thinks normal, they say they does not make money in the market. If normal thinking doesn't make money in the market, what does then? And how do I make my thoughtful analysis or anticipation about market price gives me an edge over any trade that I want to take? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ezekiel. All right, so I'll quickly address your question. Now, the first one you asked is about market. If market doesn't close in a particular way, the market open. How does market open react to the previous day? The truth is, in trading, there's no I'm looking for the right word. There's no if A equals B, C equals D. There's nothing like that. And I will tell you what I mean. Because trading the market, react to demand and supply. Okay, it reacts to demand and supply. So and demand and supply is a function of human emotion and human psychology. That's the truth. For example, economics 101, I'm very sure all of us does that in school. Says that when demand is high, price becomes what? Price goes up, right? If you have a higher demand, the price goes up, price goes up. If you have a lower demand for goods and services, price does what? Price comes down. The same thing with supply. If you have a lot of supply of goods and services, what does price does? Price come down. And if you have short supply, price does what? Price goes up. So market react to price and to demand and supply. And demand and supply is a function of human emotion. Having said that, let me give you a very quick example that is recent now that you can relate with as a person. 2 days ago, we had an inauguration of another president, and the new president just came and said, we are removing subsidy. And between that Monday and now, you can see the way price has reacted to that announcement, just that singular announcement. Ezekiel, I hope you can hear me. Let me unmute you for a bit so that if you can hear me, you can respond to what I'm saying. You can unmute yourself. If you can hear me, just let me know. So now,
yes, sir, I can hear you.
You can hear me, right? Okay, now just listen.
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, just listen to. I'm trying to lay a foundation, proper foundation, so that you understand how price works, how market works. You see everything you are seeing in this chart. All these things that you are seeing, all these things that you are seeing here, all this candle. It is not magic. It is just demand and supply. It's just human reaction to price, right? Now, the foundation I'm trying to lay, this is the foundation I'm trying to lay. And if you understand this foundation, you can trade anything. To forget what anybody's telling you about market. If you understand that price, market, what you are seeing in this chart, this chart that you are seeing, I don't know if there will be another chart tomorrow, but this chart that you are looking at, there's all these candlesticks. What you have here is just basic demand and supply, nothing more. Human reaction to price. The same thing is happening in Nigeria presently because of that announcement that the president made. You can see the way everybody is running up and down to buy fuel. Now, this is where I'm going. For example, assume that you as a marketer, you have bought. Let's say you bought your fuel at this price before that announcement on Monday. Let's say you bought at 100 naira. Now that announcement now came. Let me mute you, or just listen to me, okay? So that announcement now came on Monday that they are removing subsidy. Now what happened is that the way price will now react. Now price now go from 180 naira. I can see that in some states they have started buying fuel at 1,200. I think I saw it online. Now that means our price now moved up because of that announcement. So we went up like this to this place. Okay, so that is exactly what happened. And that means, and this happened means that human beings reacted to the price, to that announcement on Monday. That is what is happening in the Forex market. Now, for example, on Euro USD, we had this big candle that crashed. There's this big candle that happened on, I think it was last week. I think it was this candle. If I'm going to, let me expand this. It was this candle that crashed on, I think it was last week. I can't remember. So there was an announcement that Germany is the biggest economy in the European Union. So there was an announcement that they entered recession, and because of that, this support was broken. There was a support here that was holding price. You had a support here. So this support, because of that singular announcement, price crashed all the way down, and price has kept coming down because of that announcement. Because now everybody started panicking. So because Germany is the biggest economy in the European Union, and if Germany sneezes, the whole of Europe will sneeze. If Germany catches cold, the whole of Europe will catch cold. And that's why if you have been following the market, you will notice that pounds USD, which is the UK economy, has not been falling as much as Euro USD have been falling. If I go to, let's quickly check the pounds GBP USD. Let's quickly check the pounds USD chart. You will notice that now I'm on the GBP USD chart. Why? I'm trying to look for the one that have my zone drawn. Okay, let me go to the weekly chart. You notice that why price is terribly crashing with Euro USD. Pounds is not crashing like that because the economy of the UK didn't go through what the European Union is presently going through. The whole of European Union is presently, suffering recession, and that's why Euro USD are coming down. You know that pounds USD has been maintaining this the uptrend. It didn't crash as much as we have Euro USD. Let me go back to Euro USD. So in conclusion, my point is, if you understand price action, forget all those conspiracy theory of when market closes on Thursday, when market closes on Friday. All that one is just conspiracy theory. The basic of market analysis is price action. If you understand it, and if you understand how people react to this price action, you'll be good, you'll be fine. You can always trade. It's a skill that you can acquire. And I explain all of this in our course. And if you get a hold of the course, it's going to take you from a novice trader to a pro trader. Even if you have never traded before, you can get your hand on the course and you'll be fine. All right. So let me take other questions. Okay, what is happening with all the fundamentals came out fine, but the AUD is still very weak? Can we understand what's responsible? Well, I feel on the long run, the bigger picture. Let's go and check AUD USD. AUD USD has been suffering downtrend, and I don't know why that is happening. I think dollar on the currency chart. On the currency chart has been strong, has been very strong. And then you will notice somebody who is asking this question, Mustafa. Okay, Mustafa, if you notice that in the chart of AUD where I am right now, you notice that price has been coming down. In fact, for weeks, price has been very choppy. It's been going up and down. We just had this counter trend line got broken like a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago, and we are coming down. So just that across board, the Aussie dollar is very weak. Across board is weak against the dollar. The dollar is stronger than it. That's why it's coming down. If you check the currency, let's check the currency chart. I think I've gone beyond the time that I was supposed to spend today, but we'll round up in a bit. If you can see my screen, Mustafa, you can see that dollar on the currency across board, the AUD is very weak, as you can see. That is weak, is showing red, and dollar is showing green. So far, pound Japanese yen seems to be strong in the next couple of, within this period. So I think that's why we're having this AUD coming down. All right. So let me take another question. Somebody say, is this price action strategy? Yes. Victor, what I've been teaching is price action, and what we are teaching in the course is price action. Also, okay, Amit say after you buy the course and we are not clear. Yes, if you are not clear and you need assistance, you can always, if you need assistance, you can always chat us up in the group. I don't know whether you are in the Telegram group or in the WhatsApp group. You can always send us, you can always ask questions in the Telegram group. People, if I don't personally answer you, somebody else will answer you. It's a community. And if you look at our community, people always, answer you. Also, you can also send me a mail. You can send us a mail to info@tradersabroad.com. info@tradersabo.com, or you can send me a personal mail at adelola@tradersabo.com. adelola@tradersabo.com. I'm going to get your mail and I'll reply you. Okay, so you can also do that. Okay, somebody said, okay, I mean Mustafa say, if there's any visible support that can still hold price, reverse outside. Okay, you mean for Mustafa, you mean for AUD USD, right? You can also send a mail to Gerard@tradersabo.com. Okay, I get you now. Now, I think the next support is, if you look at my chart, if you can see my chart, this is the likely next support for AUD USD. I think we should have a minor support around there. We should have a minor support around 0.64, around there. There's a minor support here, 0.64, but I don't see this support holding, no. Because if we come down with this momentum and we break this support, we are likely to break this support. This is 0.64. Come and test 0.63 thereabout. So the major support where price is likely to bounce off from will be around this 0.63. Did you use the monthly chart resistance to trade on another lower chart? Yes, the Amos. If you start with us from the beginning of this webinar, you notice that I spoke about we started from the monthly chart, then we went down to the weekly chart, to the daily chart, then to the 4-hour chart. We look at all that to the monthly chart also. So you look at the monthly chart also. So you use that as a yardstick to determine market direction. All right. Okay, maybe. Well, if you Mustafa, okay, you say, that means I want to assume that, Mustafa, you say you want to go and look for money to hold equity. Well, you can do that if your drawdown is not too much, so that you don't have margin call. All right. So I think we'll be rounding up soon. So, but before we go, like we said earlier, the best investment you can make is in yourself, and there's no better time to invest in yourself than now. The world economy is taking a beating. All right. So there's no better time to